Hello children. Okay. Until now you have studied about natural resources, and in natural resources we are finished with renewable natural resources. Now today at the end of the lesson or the last part, finally we are going to study about non-renewable resources. So what did I say? What are non-renewable? Which you cannot get it again. Once it's over, it is exhausted. Such type of resources are called as non-renewable resources. Okay, the other day we finished with the forest and conservation of forest. How can we protect our forest and how can we conserve our forest? Now finally we will see what can we do to restrict the use of non-renewable resource. Restrict means what? How you can make a better use instead of getting them exhausted. How you can make a proper use. Which are the different resources as non-renewable resources. Okay. Now coming to page number, all of you, while I am explaining, just open your text because you may not understand the word. So open page number 70 from your EVS text. Okay. Hope all you are ready. You have learnt about renewable resources. Let us know about some non-renewable resources, right? Now fuels. Fuels means what? These are the different sources which give us heat and energy. So what are fuels? ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, that is you get heat and energy from fuels. What are fuels? Fuels are which release heat and energy, right? Fuels are substances which release heat and energy on burning. We use fuel for many purposes. So when will this heat release? On burning it, right? Simply if you sit here, is the heat released? Is your switch on? Now you want to put on the light. You put the switch on, right? So like that, when you ask for that particular thing, we use fuel for many purposes. So what are the different purposes? For what do you use fuels? Isn't it? If fuels wouldn't have been, today we couldn't have cooked. Right from beginning itself, in the primitive age itself, man started how to burn fire, and all this story began from there, right? Example, running vehicles and cooking food. Now how do your vehicles run? How do they run? Just because you are putting petrol in it, you are putting energy in it. How are you running? Because you have your food, right? What is your energy? The food what you consume, that is your energy. Now what is the energy for the vehicles? We are putting petrol in it. So the vehicle is running, right? And for cooking food, how is the food cooked? Just because you put on your gas. Previously they used to burn wood. Then later on they started using charcoal. Then later on little bit of they started using electricity stove gases. Then now today we are using LPG, that is liquid petroleum gas, right? All of you might have seen cooking gas at home, right? So all these things are fuels which give us energy, heat and energy. Which are they? Petrol, natural gas and coal. Coal andre eno? Idli. Okay? Now coming to here, they have asked three examples. Name 3 fuels used to run vehicles. One I can tell you, that is petrol, diesel, and you name some other, natural gas and all. Name 3 fuels used to cook food at home. Cooking gas, coal, wood. These are the 3 examples. Write it down there, okay? Fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels, right? Fossil fuels are formed by the remains of extinct plants and animals which were buried under the earth's crust over millions of years. The main fossil fuels are petroleum, natural gas and coal. So from the extraction from the earth, these things are got. Which are they? Petroleum, coal and natural gas. So these are called as fossil fuels which are extracted from the earth's crust, from the depth of the earth. Okay. Now coming to petroleum. You all know what is petroleum, yes? Petroleum, diesel, kerosene, wax, etc. are the byproducts of petroleum. So once petrol is used, they are the byproducts. You get it after that. Petroleum is a liquid mineral formed beneath the earth. It is formed by the action of bacteria, heat and pressure on dead organisms buried under the layers of the earth. The byproducts of petroleum like wax and paraffin are used in making candles, wood polish, ointments, dyes, lipsticks, chemical fertilizers, Vaseline jelly, etc. So what is the wax used? Wax is used for making of fertilizers, your lipstick, your Vaseline, all these different things are used for the production of Vaseline and all. What is used there? Wax. Wax is made. That is used. Okay. It is a byproduct of petroleum. Now next is natural gas. Next, non-renewable resources, natural gas. Natural gas is found with the petroleum in petroleum wells. Compressed natural gas is used as an alternative fuel to petrol and diesel to run vehicles. Okay. So what it is used to run the vehicles. Now know this. You have seen the use of cooking gas at home. This is called liquefied petroleum gas. LPG, it is obtained by refining petrol or moist natural gas. Cylinder nalenu antara hava tundidagirutte. That is petroleum gas. So it is called as liquefied petroleum gas. Liquefied means it is made in liquid form and it is a petroleum gas. So it is called as LPG. Okay. So you might have seen on your cylinders also. Bharat gas, LPG, HP petroleum, LPG. Okay, LPG is nothing but liquid petroleum gas. Liquefied petroleum gas. Coal. Now coming to the one more non-renewable resource, that is coal. Millions of years ago, the remains of plants and trees that were buried beneath the earth's crust did not decay completely. Due to the high temperature and pressure, they turned into coal under the layers of the rocks. This is used as fuel in the production of electricity. This source of energy is also used in industries. So coal is used, previously it was used, household also coal was used. So coal, where else it is used? It is used in industries, and previously we had steam engines where there also they used to put coal there and the train used to run. Now you have all electrified electricity trains, right? And the steam engine have almost become less now. It is almost not there itself. Now that was about the coal. Millions of years ago, the remains of plants and trees, they were due to the high temperature, it was not decayed fully. So that pieces were there. They are the coal. That is the coal. Now write examples for the following. Solid fuel. Solid fuel, it solid nalle. You can write that for solid. Then liquid fuel, you can write this. What is it? Petroleum. It is in liquid, right? And gaseous fuel, cooking gas. It is in gaseous, liquefied petroleum. Okay, so like this, if you find some more examples, you can write there. What measures can be taken to conserve the following fuels right here? Now there is a small question for you. As per your thought process, how can you conserve, how can you make lesser use of the cooking gas and diesel and petroleum? I shall give you one example. Now you think more and write some more examples in your rough book. Cooking gas, how can it be controlled? Once the food is cooked, all of you eat in the same time. Once the cooked food can serve all the 5 or 10 at home, right? Again and again, if you make it hot, that again gas consumed is more. You can avoid that by using the gas unnecessarily, keeping it on the full flame. All these things you can avoid. And some raw vegetables if you eat, that cooking also can be saved and which is also good for your health, right? So some things you can reduce the use of that cooking gas. And coming to petroleum. Petroleum, how can you make it? Everything is urgent, right? You ask your papa to drop you here, drop you there, your mama goes to office, your papa goes to office by vehicles. That they cannot stop it because that is compulsory. They have to go. But when you are going somewhere, instead of asking, if it is a very nearby distance, you can walk, right? Instead of again removing the vehicles and making use of it. And whenever you are supposed to go, instead of hiring for a private vehicle, you can go by public transport. So the bus is, all the 50 people can go with the same amount of petrol or diesel, right? And you can reach your destination. Instead, all the 50 taking 50 vehicles and moving on, that can be saved. Such 2 examples I have given you. You think more and get some more things that how you can reduce the use of cooking gas and petroleum, right? Excessive use of fuels is dangerous to the environment. So we are not only saving our money by reducing these non-renewable resources, the use of these, but it is excessive energy will destruct everything. So we need to protect the environment also. Nowadays, efforts are being made to use alternative sources of energy like solar energy. Solar energy, it is exhaustible? No, it is not exhaustible. So many people are making use of solar energy. Solar energy is a natural product, right? Sun will not say that, and you have to pay me this much of money, then only I will shine, then only I will give you heat and energy. Never sun will say that, right? So solar energy, nowadays they are using it in most of the things, so that energy can be got from solar energy or from sun. You might have seen the systems there on the top of the roofs. They have made that solar system is, to take the rays and it is given. That system is there. You must have, most of you might be having in your houses also. So that can conserve the heat and energy which is given by the non-renewable resources. Okay. Now coming finally to the mineral resources. Minerals means what? What is mineral? Minerals are formed in the earth as a result of prolonged natural process for a long time. If it is there, it is a prolonged process. They are available along with rocks in the surface of the earth. Minerals are extracted in the form of ore, refined in factories, and metals are separated from them. Okay, one fine example how the minerals are got, how gold is extracted. One such example is of Kolar gold mines. As soon as you go, 1 tola is not given there. It is extracted from that minerals and that metal is got. So only gold is very costly, right? So this is from the extraction, how these metals are got from the extraction of the minerals. Separation of iron from iron ore. Metals like aluminium, copper, silver, etc. are extracted from their ores. ಅದು ಮೇನ್ ಇದರಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. So which are they? Aluminium. Aluminium is white color metal. Now what you use it at home? Nowadays we don't use that. Aluminium ಅಂದ್ರೆ aluminium ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, white color ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. Then copper. Copper ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ತಾಮ್ರ. Silver, ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ. So such these things are got from the extraction of that particular ore. Then these metals are got. Okay? Ore. Ore, it is a multi-useful material available in nature. Its composition can be represented by the chemical formula. So this you will study in your higher classes, by which chemical formula it is given, iron ore. Okay? So for your level this much is enough. What are the things you have to remember about non-renewable resources? What are fuels? Which are they? Then how they can be controlled. Right? Now finally, end of the chapter, what would have happened if there were no minerals? Then what would have happened? We wouldn't have any metals, right? Regaining of emptied mineral resources depends on the scientific process that takes place inside the earth. Minerals are formed over millions of years, hence they must be used moderately. Means they must be used very sensibly. You cannot get it exhausted. It should be used sensibly because it has to be carried on for years together, right? So now which are the, write the uses of natural resources given in the table. Now what is the natural resource? Natural resource given is soil, forest, solar energy, animals, fossil fuels and minerals. Now what are the uses? Okay, from soil what is it? What happens? Mainly what happens? Growth of plants. Then forest. Forest, what do they provide? They provide necessary food to animals, and the trees, at least they give wood and all. So many things are there. Then solar energy. Solar energy, it gives heat and energy to the whole of universe, right? Everyone is getting benefited from the solar energy, and also it helps in the for the plants for the preparation of the foods, food what they are preparing, right? Then animals. What are animals? Every animal is giving you so much of good things. For example, cows gives us milk, buffalo gives you milk, and horses allow you to take you from one distance to another. So many things. Camels. All these animals are of great use to the humanity. Then fossil fuels. From fossil fuels, what do you get? You get petroleum, natural gas and coal, right? From minerals, it is extracted in the form of ore. Minerals also, they are extracted, and so many other things are got from that. So many metals are extracted from them. List out the materials used in the construction of your house, identifying by mark, take to the natural resources among them. What you have learned from this activity. Now there is one small activity where you have to tell which are the resources you are using in your day-to-day life. This you do not do it in your classwork. Please do it in your rough book and post it to the group, right? So it is your thinking capacity. Question, answers, everything I will be giving you. But now you also have to think. After in the 4 parts, I think I have completed this lesson, right? Now once this lesson is over, watch all the 4 videos. Because it was a very big lesson. So I had to make it divided into 3 to 4 parts. So what you have to do? Watch all the videos again. Open the textbook, read it, then you will understand it thoroughly, right? For your standard, I think it is a bit heavier lesson, but let's do. Yes or no? We are prepared now. We are prepared to study, we will study, and of course I am there to help you out, okay? The availability of natural resources that fulfill our needs is not uniform everywhere. It is not the same. Wherever some resources are not in some places, some other places, some are not there. The quality of available resources is also not the same. As a result of excessive usage, more than our requirements, there is scarcity of such natural resources. So what is scarcity? Scarcity means less. You need something more, but you are having it less. When you have less, what are the things you have to keep it in your mind? You have to keep it that you have to use it in a very careful manner. Then only you can come out of scarcity. When something is less, you cannot make it more immediately. But you can make a careful use so that you can tell with that scarcity, right? If the same condition persists means if the same continues, some of the resources may not be available in the future. Hence, these resources must be used moderately and they must be reused if possible. So, what is the main theme of this lesson? That all the things should be used carefully and try to reuse it. Reuse it means the same material you can make a better use of it. Try to do it. Natural resources are there to fulfill our needs but not to fulfill our greed. Okay, so the main statement, what it is, it will fulfill your need, not fulfill your greed. What is greed? No satisfaction at all, right? In one lesson you have learnt in English, never be greedy, right? What did you learn? Ultimately what happened? Everything there is a loss. So only stick up to your needs and not to your greeds, right? Fulfill your needs. Whatever is required, you can take it from the nature. But don't be so very possessive and take it for granted and make misuse of the nature what is provided to you. It is a God gift. So we have to take care and fulfill only our need and not our greed. Greed means never ending needs. Everything you are never satisfied, that is greed, right? Natural resources should be used moderately and the balance in nature should be maintained. So it is our responsibility as tomorrow's future so that we take care of the nature very well with your very small activities. Okay? Yeah, always a drop of water makes a mighty ocean. What it is told as? drop of water make a mighty ocean. So every drop you put it, then it will gather and you can collect more water. In the same way, your small deed towards nature, it can fulfill the biggest one also. So you have to be very careful that you are also an important part of this nature and you have to maintain the balance in nature. So on page number 75, there are some points which you might be knowing or you may not be knowing. I will just read it to you. Finally, this will be the end of your lesson, natural resources. In earlier days, natural things like mountains, forests, minerals, animals, soil, water, etc. were considered as natural resources. Nowadays, it has got a wider meaning. The meaning of the word resource is changing with time. So, resources, what are the things you are getting? But now day by day, it is changing. A thing once considered as a resource may not be considered as a resource after some years. One kaladalli namage ade urgent anta irbodu, but now it may be of no use. For example, even the use of coal. Previously everyone used to use coal, but nowadays we are not using it. It has become a less importance in the form of a resource. Example, natural gas is a resource now, but it was not so about 1,000 years ago. Coal was a resource then, which is not now most of the time, and natural gas was not a resource in ancient years, but now it is a very much required resource where everyone makes use of the natural gas. Sun, light, water, soil available everywhere on the earth are called universal resources. So if you get a question, what are universal resources? Universal resources are sunlight, water, soil. Okay? These are which are available everywhere on the earth are called as universal resources or universal natural resources. If forest resource is used for firewood and wooden logs, then it cannot be reused again. As a result, forests become non-renewable resource. Growing more trees and moderate use of wood can make the forest renewable. Now we cannot make big forest again, but we can make a proper use by not cutting down the trees. We can protect them, and also by planting new trees, that also can be done by us. Nowadays, seawater can be converted into pure water for drinking purpose by using some methods. But these methods are very expensive. No water also, we feel, oh no, I am having enough water. But there is scarcity of water. Instead of getting by other ways, we can make the proper use of the water and we can avoid the scarcity of water, right? Human beings with innate intelligence, creativity, expertise and aesthetic sense can also be considered as a type of resource. Now finally, this statement is very, very important, right? We are making use of these natural resources in such a way because of the human brain, right? Human brain, how it is, because of that itself is a resource, human resources it is called. Nowadays in all the big companies, we are too small for that, but let me tell you, there is a department called as Human Resource Department, that is HRD. So there you have all the intelligent, skilled people there to run out with that company. So human himself is a big resource for the nation or that particular country, right? So how is human? With innate intelligence, with lots of intelligence, admirable intelligence. So how is human? He is the most intelligent species. So with himself, he is a resource for the nation. Creativity. Can you think a dog can create something? No, but wherein you can create, because you are a wonderful human being on earth. You have so many things which comes to your mind. Today we can see this development around us with the creativity of human being, right? So beautifully all the things are found. Had these people known before about these malls, that, this and all these different vehicles, automobiles and beautiful, what is that? So many things like creativity, it is innumerable. I just can't explain that. All this is due to the creativity of human, right? Expertise and aesthetic sense can also be considered as a type of resource. Aesthetic and resource means the wonderful creation of human, and the expert mind of the human is a big resource for the country and for this land. Okay, so we shall wind up with the lesson natural resources. I hope you are followed. If not followed, again watch all the 4 videos. Children, it is a big lesson. So, but I am sure that I have covered each and every point from that lesson. Just watch the videos, read the lesson and make yourself thorough. Question answers, fill in the blanks will be given. And one more thing, your second FA will be commencing very shortly. So be prepared for that. These 2 lessons what I have done after first FA. So be well, stay safe, be prepared and do your work at home and be punctual in sending the assignments. Okay, have a nice day.